Hello everyone, this is Tom from Dirk Witte Music Store in Utrecht, the Netherlands. And today we're taking a look at this really cool Fender 70th anniversary American Vintage 2 1954 Stratocaster in a beautiful two-tone sunburst finish. The Fender Stratocaster is having its birthday, 70 years old already, and Fender has released a really cool line of various models for the Fender Stratocaster. And this one being really the OG, if you will, because this is a recreation of the model that had started it all the way back in 1954, because this is really just a Fender USA reissue of the legendary 1954 Fender Stratocaster with all of those types of specs and appointments. So let's dive into the specs. We've got a what appears to be a two-piece ash body in a really beautiful and accurate two-tone sunburst finish. Because way back in the day, Fender only had a two-tone burst finish that they would offer. But then later, I think in 1959, they had introduced the three-tone sunburst finish, which would then feature, like the name says, three tones or three colors. Whereas this one features two. So you've got this really black border, kind of like a black rim or a black border. And then you've got this more natural or like brown stained color in the center. The front as well as on the back, so it looks super old-timey and very much accurate to the old days. And then the entire body is also done in a true nitro cellulose finish, as well as the neck, so that is very much accurate. So what that then means is that this will also age beautifully over the years as you play it, as you should. We've got a one-ply white pickguard, which is also very much accurate. Way back in the day, they would only come with one ply, and then also later in the late 1950s, they had introduced the three-ply pickguard. As for the pickups, we've got some 1954 Fender single coil Strat pickups, which sound really great. They really do have kind of a unique thing going on of their own. Sounds really good. What is also really cool and also then kind of nerdy is that the pickup covers are also a little bit different. Maybe you can see that. These are a little bit more rounded than your typical Fender Strat pickup, which is very much accurate to the very early Fender Stratocasters. Later on these will be a little bit more sharp, but at this point in history these are a little bit more rounded. So yeah, that is a really cool and again a little bit of a nerdy little detail. And then the next nerdy detail is these knobs, because these are also just a little bit different. They are a little bit more wide on the top and a little bit larger on the top, and then the skirt is a little bit smaller / narrower, and that is also very much accurate to the very early models of these. So also a really sweet little touch. And then for the bridge we've got a pure vintage tremolo with bent steel saddles that looks and works beautifully. Got your input jack over here on the front as we are used to. As for the switch, also different, because this is not a normal 5-way switch or like normal as we now know it as. This is a 3-way switch, because in case you did not know, up until like I think the 1980s, it was a really long time. Every single Fender Stratocaster from the factory would come with a 3-way pickup selector switch. So only then in the 1980s they had decided to change that. But yeah, this being the very first year, as you would expect, it comes with a 3-way pickup selector switch. So that is very unique, and it also kind of makes you play a little bit more differently, because you basically only have 3 choices, but you can still get those in between tones if you just balance it right. But it is a little bit tricky to do, and it also then tends to jump either that way or this way. So it is not super reliable in that. I do think that this one does come with a 5-way pickup selector switch in the case, in case you really want that 5-way pickup selector switch. So yeah, again, also very cool and accurate. Also, what is kind of a nerdy little detail is this switch tip. It is also just a little bit different. Also a nod to the 1950s or the early 1950s models for these. We've got a one-piece maple neck, again also done in all nitro, so also then on the fingerboard, as you can see, as that reflects in the light. And then we've got a 1954 C profile. It is also kind of flirting with a V over here up on the higher frets, which I personally really like. This is not like baseball bat territory. It's kind of like a medium to thick, kind of reminds me, if I am allowed to say that, of a 1959 Gibson style profile, but then you've got kind of like a soft V going on here, over here, and the higher frets. Insanely comfortable, plays really well, and yeah, it is not too big for me, but it is on the bigger side, if you will. And then for the radius, we have got a 7¼ inch radius, so also very much in the style of way back in the day. Also feels really comfortable for chords and such, and bending is also not that much of a problem, but don't go like all crazy with your bends, because this is not really the type of model for that. Just to let you know, we have got 21 frets, and then we have got a bone nut, and we've got your truss rod axis that is over here at the end of the neck. So that is also very much vintage style, not super practical, but it is accurate. And then we've got your single 50s style string tree, got your vintage style tuners. And what is also a little nice touch is that also this headstock is a little bit more rounded. I don't know if you can see that, maybe if I flip it over, but over there on that corner, it is a little bit more rounded than your typical Fender Strat. So that is also a really nice little touch to detail. And then the last thing to mention, it also comes with a really beautiful hardshell case, a tweed case, which then has the 70th anniversary Stratocaster logo embroidered in the inside of the case, which looks super fancy. And you also get a ton of case candy, some really cool old-timey like paperwork that you would also then get way back in the day if you were to buy this model in 1954. Also then comes with a 5-way pickup selector switch in the case, like I mentioned earlier. Also obviously comes with the trem arm, it comes with a strap, comes with a with an ashtray cover for your bridge, which not a whole lot of people use, but that also came with this model way back in the day. And it also comes with a cable, polished cloth, more paperwork, you get a ton. So they really did not let you down on that part. And yeah, this is just all in all a super cool 1954 first year reissue of the legendary Fender Stratocaster that has really changed music forever. Obviously thinking about Hendrix, think about Clapton, think about Jeff Beck, and countless of other players that have grabbed this very model and then have made some really wonderful music with this very model, as you should do with this beautiful instrument. So yeah, let's hear what it sounds like. But first, if you're interested in this Fender 70th anniversary American Vintage 2 1954 Stratocaster, be sure to head over to the links in the description for further details. If you enjoyed this demo, be sure to like the video and to subscribe to the channel for more cool weekly demos of beautiful electric guitars like these, or cool acoustics, bass guitars, amplifiers, even all of that really cool stuff. And then also be sure to like us and to follow us on our socials, Instagram and Facebook. Links are also in the description. With all that being said, let's hear what this 1954 reissue Fender Stratocaster sounds like. Going to be playing it through the 1966 Fender Super Reverb. First going to be playing you the clean tones, then I'll be playing you some dirty tones, for which I'll be using the MXR Duke of Tone overdrive / distortion pedal. So let's get to that part and take this really cool first year Fender Stratocaster reissue for a spin.